welcome to the Year of the Tiger. This is Sifu Benny Ming. I'm the curator of the Wing Chun Museum. It's the first museum of martial art in US and it's the first museum for the art of Wing Chun. We formed the committee in 1993, had a grand opening by 1998, supported by many direct students of Grandmaster Yeung. But rather than being just a lineage for the Yeung family, we expanded to research all Wing Chun. Okay, so after 20-some years of research, we're here to promote all families of Wing Chun, from Shaolin Wing Chun to Red Opera Wing Chun, okay, to the Fasan Public Wing Chun, and then finally to the Hong Kong Wing Chun, now is internationalized. Okay, so this year I would like to do a video series to kind of showcase what we have done as far as history, technical applications, and then promoting Wing Chun in general, okay? So here at the museum, we support all Wing Chun lineages. So we try to give you an objective look in the art of Wing Chun. Objectiveness, that means we're not focusing on the style of the Grandmaster or the styles of the lineage, but the science, the physics, okay, the facts, what makes Wing Chun Wing Chun. So this first series, I would like to kind of explain the most fundamental start of Wing Chun. Everyone starts with Wing Chun typically with opening of the horse. We call that Yi Kim Yeung Ma. So we would like to give you an objective look and let you make the decisions and understanding from different perspectives. Here we point the fingers, we don't make the objective conclusion for you. That is for you to make. Okay. Yi Kim Yeung Ma. Now this is a Cantonese dialect. Most of the Wing Chun today come from Canton. There is one particular older version of Wing Chun that actually directly come from Fujian or Fukien, which is where the Southern Shaolin Temple is. So the reason I mention that is almost every Wing Chun lineage except Fukien Wing Chun speak the dialects of Cantonese. So our term here would be based on Cantonese. Yi Kim Yeung Ma. Okay, so this is the Chinese for Yi Kim Yeung Ma. Now if you notice, I wrote this Chinese character twice, the top and then here. What do you notice the difference? This character is the same, this too is the same, this is the same. Now when you get to this character here and here, Yeung, you see it's two separate characters. And then the Ma, okay? So that means in the Wing Chun community today, there are two translations. Okay, so maybe it was intended or maybe it was a mistake, but it's for you to decide. Okay, the sound of these two characters are the same, but as you can clearly see, there are two separate Chinese characters, so two separate words with two separate meanings. So let me explain the bottom, Yi Kim Yeung Ma. Okay, Yi is the Chinese word for two, character two, right there. Okay, so as you can see, if I open up, toes out, toes in, the knees are abducted in, and then the toes are pointed in. Okay, so you have a short line and a long line. So that is kind of looks like the Chinese character two. So this Chinese character two, what is the purpose? The Yi is the concept for structure. So when we are dealing with Wing Chun, we're dealing with this range right here. It's close quarter range. Okay, at this range, you're not going to be a narrow stance and bouncing around. You're going to have stability and mobility. And this particular stances, for stability is close quarter, at the same time you can still move. You need to have your toes in, okay? So later we can do a structure test for that. So that is the character 2. It is for the purpose to give you a strong but yet still retain the mobility, okay, for structural purpose. Kim, which is this word here, Kim, means to be rooting and to maintain the balance. So maintain the roots, okay, and for close quarter combat, okay, you cannot be bouncing around and you still gotta have mobility, but stability is very much the important part, okay? So Kim means to abduct or root or to maintain your balance, okay? So when Chun is gonna be able to use 2 hands and 2 feet simultaneously, so you're gonna have to be able to maintain good balance and be able to stand up and be able to go against people that want to disrupt your balance and want to take you down. So rooting is very important, okay, for the attribute of balance. And then this third concept here, Yeung, this is where you see the difference from this character to this character. So Yeung, from this character here, means sheep or goat. So the animal will have a, so basically if you look at this translation here, the structure abducting in sheep stance. So basically it's kind of like you want to root and then you clamp your legs in, almost like you're clamping in an animal between your legs. In that case, it's the sheep. So that is the translation in this Chinese character, okay? We've done many research with many different lineages. They have a different version, which they use this Chinese character, which is Yeung, same sound, but this Yeung translated into what we call yin yang yang. So what is yin yang? For example, right? Up is yang, down is yin. Front is yang, back is yin. Okay? Active is yang, passive is yin. So this translation, what they focus on is the idea on facing. Okay? So right now, using the Yeung as an example, I am square up with the Zong. So yang facing versus yang facing. So in training, this is kind of what we do a lot in Wing Chun. But in application, okay, if he attacks me and I park up, basically we are still in the same position. I have not created any advantages. So tactically, and later we will go into the gate theory, okay, that the yang supposed to be facing the yin in application. So what does that mean? So if the punch come, I'm gonna go off. I'm still Yeung, so that means I'm still squaring up to my opponents, where my opponents is not squaring up to me. So I am Yeung, this is yin. So this is the second translation, Yeung. So this has to do with the gates theory, what we call, some lineage use 6 gates, some use the 9 gates. Okay, so we'll go deeper into that. But this translation is a concept for facing. Because in order to be efficient, I don't want to go toe to toe with my opponents. How do I go against someone who's bigger and stronger and faster? I have to take on a better position, and that is yang versus yin. Okay? Now, if I can move this dummy and turn his back, now that will be a total yang versus yin. So that means you have a better position. That is the concept of facing. Okay? So here we have Yi Jin Kim Yeung Ma. Close quarter, toes in structure, balance, rooting, yang facing horse. Okay, so 9 gate facing opponents may be less than the 9 gates that you are using. Okay, now this here is the sheep and goat. Maybe over the time they mistranslated, or whatever reason you want to teach your student that you have a sheep between your legs so you can abduct. Okay, whatever reason your teacher tells you, this is something you have to clarify, this is something you have to kind of come to your own conclusion. But objectively, in today's Wing Chun world, there is the yang facing character and then the sheep and goat animal characters being used. Okay? But 1, 2, 3. Okay, based on this translation here, Yi is for structure of the lower limb, Kim is for rooting, for balance, and Yang is the 9 gates or 6 gate facing. Okay? So quickly, most of the Wing Chun break it down into 6 gate. You have center line, high, middle, low. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So some Wing Chun uses 6 gate. Some older version of Wing Chun, they use 9. So they have a gate in the middle rather than the center. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, but the idea is that to have optimum efficiency of both hands, both feet, you need to have square up. That is why we have a gate theory. So with that said, hopefully this will clarify some of the discussion, okay, or different type of concept out there. Okay, this is a good start for you to analyze. Okay, as we start in the Sidium Tao, this is the first stance. To give you 3 concepts: structure, rooting, and facing. So it's not a combat stance. So that means it's not like a movie that you actually fight from here. Okay, I want to have my assistant here, Chris, to show the stance again. Okay, go ahead and do Ichi Kumyo Ma. Okay, so knees in, toes in. Now again, I mentioned this is a practice stance, training stance to teach you the forms and so forth, introduce the concept of Ichi Kumyo Ma. But in application, most likely you're going to step forward. All right, go ahead and step forward. Right. Okay. Now his toes are in, his knees are in. Okay. So this have a structure by itself. Okay. So if I kind of check it, it's pretty solid. Now if he just point that foot straight or out, with the same type of energy go to the leg, you see he just lost his balance or his structure got broken. Okay. So this Yi concept is important for close quarter combat to maintain the good structure. Okay. And then the Kim is to maintain the balance, right? So if he comes in and push me, right? Okay, I gotta be able to have rooting. Okay, so if somebody pushes me, okay, it pushes me, right? I gotta be able to go ahead and push, right? I gotta have rooting to be able to direct the energy down to the earth. That is the Kim. Okay, rooting. And then the last, the facing, which this character here, okay? So for example, in practice, he does vertical punch, we do paksao. Right. Okay, this is paksao. 9 gates versus 9 gates. This is Yang versus Yang. So this is practice. So in reality, right, let's say he punched, right? This is the application of Pakta. So that means I'm Yang facing, he's Yin facing now. So this is the character Yang. So it's a concept of a gate theory. I have more gates facing. He have less of a gate facing. He only have 3 gates facing my 9 gates. So again, this gives you a concept of Yichi Kumyo Ma. Character 2, rooting, Yang facing horse versus character 2, rooting, sheep, horse stance. So 2 translations. Okay, hopefully you enjoy our first videos for the Year of the Tiger 2022 based on the concept or the name of Yichi Kumyo Ma. Okay, some of the concept we explain and how it relates to other concept of Wing Chun, and one of the other concept is the gate theory. So here we have a DVD is called Wing Chun Fighting Applications, okay, Wing Chun Sanda, so Wing Chun hitting, striking skills. This DVD explains more in details about the gates theory, because it's one thing to train the technique, it's different to apply it. In order to apply it, your concept, which gives you the tactical advantage, must be applied. Okay? So if you're just making a move, you don't understand the concept. Wing Chun is a concept-based art. So it's important that you understand the concept. So this DVD will go into details with the gate theories. Okay? And all the DVDs are available on WingChunKungFuOnline.org. Okay, you can subscribe to it by the lessons or by monthly membership. And we are constantly adding new lessons pertaining to history, philosophy, concept, applications, different activities of Wing Chun.